You sleep enough, you rest enough. So why are you still tired? You are not tired because your body cannot handle more. You are tired because your mind has been fighting a quiet battle every single day, a battle you don't even realize is happening. Before your feet touch the ground in the morning, your thoughts are already moving. You replay conversations that never happened. You imagine futures that scare you. You question decisions you haven't even made yet. And all of that happens silently. No noise, no warning, just pressure. Over time, that pressure becomes exhaustion. Most people believe tiredness comes from doing too much, but for many people, the real exhaustion comes from doing too little of what they truly want. Holding back your thoughts, your words, your actions, stopping yourself before you even try. That internal stopping creates tension, and tension drains energy faster than effort ever will. You are not tired from moving forward, you are tired from constantly stopping yourself. Your mind learned to limit you for a reason. At some point in your life, being cautious kept you safe. Maybe you failed once and it hurt more than you expected. Maybe someone laughed at you, criticized you, or ignored you. Maybe you tried and it didn't work, and your brain decided never again. Your mind does not care about your dreams. It cares about your survival, emotional survival. It wants to avoid pain, embarrassment, rejection, and uncertainty at all costs. That is why when you think about change, your body reacts. Your chest tightens, your energy drops, your motivation disappears. Not because you are incapable, but because your brain is reading change as danger. It sends signals that feel like tiredness, distraction, and confusion. But those are not signs that you should stop. They are signs that you are about to step outside your comfort zone. This is where most people misunderstand themselves. They think, I am exhausted, I need rest. But a rest does not fix this. You can take days off, weeks off, even months off, and still feel the same. Because the problem is not lack of sleep, it is the constant mental load of unexpressed potential, knowing you could do more but staying still, wanting change but choosing comfort. Your mind prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar progress. It would rather keep you in a situation you dislike than risk a situation it cannot predict. This is why people stay in routines that drain them, jobs that numb them, habits that hold them back. Not because they are weak, but because their mind recognizes the pattern, and familiar feels safe, even when it hurts. You are not lazy. Lazy people do not feel guilty for not moving forward. Lazy people do not overthink their potential. Lazy people do not lie awake at night wondering what they could become. If you feel frustrated, stuck, and disappointed with yourself, that is not laziness. That is resistance. Resistance between who you are now and who you know you could be. Your tiredness is not physical. It is emotional and mental. It comes from carrying fear all day long. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of wasting time, fear of choosing wrong. Each fear on its own feels small, but together they become heavy, and your mind carries them everywhere. That is why simple tasks feel overwhelming. That is why starting feels impossible. That is why you feel drained before you even begin. The moment you understand this, something shifts. You stop attacking yourself. You stop saying, something is wrong with me. You realize the problem is not your lack of strength, but your excess of caution. Your mind is not broken, it's just overprotective. It learned rules that no longer fit the life you want. You do not need to silence your fear. You do not need to eliminate doubt. Those things are part of being human. What you need is to stop letting them decide for you. Fear does not disappear before action. Confidence does not arrive first. Clarity does not come before movement. All of those things are built after you start. Every time you avoid a small action, your mind learns that fear is in control. It reinforces the limit. It strengthens the boundary. But every time you act despite resistance, something else happens. Your mind updates its rules. It learns that discomfort is not death, that uncertainty is survivable, that taking a step does not mean losing control. Change does not come from one big decision. It comes from repeated small actions that feel uncomfortable at first, actions so small they almost feel pointless. Writing one sentence, making one call, showing up for 5 minutes. These actions matter because they send a signal to your brain. They say, we are safe even when we move. And over time, that signal gets stronger. You may not feel energized at first. In fact, you might feel more resistance. That's normal. Resistance increases right before growth. Your mind pushes hardest when it feels its limits being challenged. That does not mean you are going the wrong way. It means you are going somewhere new. One day you will look back and realize you were never lacking energy. Your energy was trapped, locked behind mental limits you didn't choose consciously, limits created by past experiences, fears, and learned patterns. And step by step, those limits began to loosen, not because you forced them, but because you moved anyway. You do not need to wait until you feel ready. Ready is not a requirement. Ready is an illusion your mind uses to delay change. People who change their lives do not feel ready. They feel scared, uncertain, and uncomfortable, and they act anyway. That's the difference. So, the next time you say, I'm tired, pause for a moment. Ask yourself a different question. Am I truly exhausted, or am I just afraid of stepping beyond what feels safe? Because the moment you stop letting your mind limit you, your energy slowly returns. Not all at once, not dramatically, but enough to take one step, and that one step leads to another, and another. And before you realize it, you are no longer stuck. You were never broken. You were never lazy. You were just listening to a mind that learned to protect you in a world that no longer exists. And the moment you choose to move despite fear, your life begins to open again.